Guess what? It's time for...
Ooh, show us your package.
Wow! This one's from the USA, from Slot Invasion USA to be exact. I saw these reviewed on another YouTube channel and I was intrigued. So I hopped on the computer, went to the slotinvasionusa.com website, and there they were. Not just one, but two 5-piece packs of Slot Invasion USA performance guides for Carrera cars. Now, in the last episode, we upgraded our tyres with quick slicks. This time, we're taking things to the next level and upgrading our standard Carrera slot guides with these beauties. Now, the manufacturer claims that these are a much better fit for Carrera track slots. And since they sit a little deeper within the slot, they help prevent your more troublesome cars from jumping off the track all of a sudden. They're also made of a superior low-friction material, which allows your cars to move around the track with ease and perform at their best. Now, I'm about to build a new pit lane barrier, and this sticker they've thrown in is perfect for it. Last episode, we upgraded the Lamborghini Huracan with some awesome Quick Slicks tyres. Now, they made a noticeable difference, but we can still do better. So this one's the perfect candidate for a Slot Invasion USA Performance Guide update. And between you and me, I can't wait to see the difference they make. Let's get one out of the packet and I'll show you how easy they are to install. Don't you just love the sound of crinkly plastic packets first thing in the morning? Voila! It's red, my precious. Sorry about that. Now, regarding that review I saw on another YouTube channel, someone left a comment claiming that these destroy lane changes. Now, that comment stayed with me and I almost didn't buy these, but in the end, I had to try them out for myself. And with so many positive reviews, it was only fair. So let's try this. We push it through the guide. It's moving through without any friction. There's the little lever that the guide pushes through to close the gate behind. It looks like there's clearance. It looks like there's no contact with the back of the guide. It just pushes through with ease. Now let's have a look from this angle. Here comes the car through the changer, pushes through the spring-loaded lever. No issues. But hey, let's have another look from directly above. Here comes the car through the changer, nothing obstructing it. There's the spring-loaded lever, just enough clearance behind, and the nonsense is debunked. The moral of the story, always check things out for yourself. Now let's put my Aussie dentistry skills to good use. Yeah, rip the bugger out like that. And let's put in the new one. It's red. Sorry. Anyway, it goes in easy, it's a nice snug fit, and doesn't it look rather snazzy with all that bright red goodness? And that leaves us with just one thing left to do. Try it out on the track. Seems to be working quite well. But let's put one on this guy. This'll test them. This car is notorious for jumping out of the slots, and I've lost count of the number of times I've seen people complaining about it. So let's rip out that sucker and put in a real one. Oh, and did I mention that it's red? Yeah, I did that, didn't I? Just put it in there and make it look like you know what you're doing. Play with the braids. Yeah, that looks technical. Okay, let's run this pesky Ford GT and see how it goes now. Definitely an improvement, and it's worth mentioning this Ford also has some quick slicks on the rear. The performance guide has definitely made an improvement. And how's that for a finish? Now, just to be sure, let's run the Lambo again. It seems to run without any friction inhibiting its performance. It's taking the corners well, it's staying in the groove. I'm impressed. And now for the trifecta, the Audi R8. Oh yeah, handles those S's with ease. Now this is a great car out of the box, but now with some Quick Slicks tyres on the rear and a new bright red Slot Invasion USA Performance Guide, it's a winner. Now I'm absolutely wrapped with these modifications. I'm not affiliated with these companies. I paid for these products myself, and I highly recommend you give them a go. Okay, just having a casual wander here, having a look at the circuit. Can you believe it's 5 episodes in already? Amazing. If you'd have told me this time last year that I'd have a YouTube channel and people would be actually watching, I would not have believed it. Anyway, I'm glad everybody's enjoying the content so far, and yeah, I've got quite a few ideas, quite a lot planned in the episodes ahead. I think I'm going to do these as like a series of 10 episodes. So we'll have series 1, or seasons, let's call them seasons, like on TV. Season 1, episode 10 will always be like the grand finale it'll be a big racing event of some sort. But the whole point of this channel is I'm starting off pretty much like you guys are, and adding a bit here and there. While you're building your circuit, so am I. Hopefully we'll learn from each other. We'll have our little triumphs, we'll make our little mistakes. What I'm doing here, as we've been running some laps, there's a few things that I'm just not quite right. Before I launch in and start building scenery, I want to make sure that we've refined the track so it can be as good as it can be, because we are going to have some massive racing events in here. There's going to be a lot of people coming through. We're going to have racing seasons, like a monthly racing season. There'll be a champion each month, and then at the end of the year we'll have our Grand Prix, and there'll be prizes, and I'm going to get a great big gold cup, like a real one, and they'll get their name etched on it, things like that. But we've got to get this track right, and it's pretty good. It's impressive enough, but like this whole S thing, I ended up with that by default. I ran out of track, so I sort of got that to fit. I got the track to resolve by doing that. And I think I've said before, I'm not a huge fan of S-bends, but this section I've grown to love. I think that is fantastic there. So from the mobile gantry onwards, I'm very happy with that. And it lends itself to all sorts of scenic ideas. But this section here is just by default. I ran out of track. And also, I'm not too thrilled with this. This is a second hairpin chicane, and it's meant for up the other far end, on the other side of that far bridge. So we've got one hairpin at this end of the circuit. This one is supposed to be up here. But again, running out of track and using what pieces you do have, and oh, that's coming apart there, we better address that. That might explain the loss of power in that section. Who knows? But yeah, I want to improve on this. I did have it slightly different prior to putting this here, but I've just found a few more track pieces, and I don't know where they came from, but we've got 2 of my favourites, the 230 curve. And I've mentioned before that I'm not too pleased with this turn here. It's a little tight. We have a few stacks there, but there's one 230 piece there, and with 2 more we get a full 90-degree turn. So I'm going to rip this out in a moment and have the three pieces. I'm very excited by that. But before I do, again, in an effort to get everything to resolve, we've got to figure out, well, do we need extra straight pieces? And that's where I might come a gutser. I may need a few extra of these things, like, what are these, 1/4 straights, this 1/3 straight. So I'll muck around with it and see what happens. Also, but what I've got happening up here, let me just put the camera down for a sec. This is the rest of the track I had left over. If I just overlay this here carefully, I'll show you what I've just discovered. So if I, there it is. If I connect that there, we'll come around, we'll introduce one of the crisscross tracks I had left over. And because you really need two of those in any circuit. Or am I just thinking like the old analog days? Who knows? Two's better than one. But as you can see, where it resolves is exactly where the track join is there. So by installing that, instead of it just being this fairly dull hairpin, and remember this is a raised section, this will be a little bit more sweeping, a bit more exciting through this crisscross here. It swings around, it's a little bit more scenic, if you know what I mean. You can do more with it. And then from this point here, we'll shift this all down, so we're basically gaining two equivalent straight lengths, shifting that down, and then this second hairpin chicane will fit down in here under the bridge like it was originally meant to. But again, I might come up short slightly with it. Only takes one piece. You only have to be short one piece, and it doesn't work. So I'm going to have a little muck around with it and see if I can get these few refinements installed. If not, we'll have to order some more track. But I'm really excited about improving that curve. That's going to be wonderful. But I'll show you what I've got in store down here. Once we start building all the scenery, what we've got planned for this corner is a big mountain, like it's been carved in through for the track. There'll be one mountain there and another part of it here with sheer cliff edges, and then there'll be a bridge going over the top of it. So when we're racing, this will be a great scenic piece of the circuit. And on this side of the mountain, we're going to have a big stadium-style lighting, maybe a little lookout. There'll be press, camera people, etc., and a bridge going across the top, as I said. When looking down from above, you'll have three different levels. Looking through, there'll be embankments here, and on this side, maybe some sort of waterfall going down. I'm not too sure. We'll look at it, but if you're like me and you check out Boone's Slot Car Garage channel, that guy, wow, he's a Jedi master of slot car scenery. That guy, probably the Grand Jedi Master, to be honest. And I definitely am looking forward to really bringing this to life. But before we do that, we've got to make sure we get the track dynamics spot on. It's got to be an absolute joy to lap with no nasty sections. This has got a couple, like that's a nasty one. This one here needs to be embanked. The cars come off here a bit. This one's far too tight as well. I want to do something with that, but definitely this one, when you're roaring home, you hit this turn here, yeah, you come off and crash into the side there. So yeah, I'm going to give it a bit more thought. I'm going to muck around for an hour or two. Hopefully I won't tear all my hair out, what's left of it. And see if we can really improve this circuit. Yeah, I'm thinking as I'm talking. Anyway, leave it with me. Thanks again for watching. Episode number 5, amazing. Okay, I feel a bit like Godzilla here in Death and Destruction, where everywhere you look. But I've just added this section in. I haven't connected it up yet, but that's looking much better. It's got a bit more shape to it, a bit more movement. We'll be able to create some concrete walls in here and some embankments, trees and whatnot. There'll be a mountain part here with cliffs and rock faces. That's got a bit more shape to it, and it looks a lot more interesting to my eye. Much better. We've introduced a crossover track there. So I'll keep going. I haven't even begun to adjust anything down this end, but this is going to look great. As you can see from this angle, there's a lot more shape now going on up there. It's just not, it's simple turnaround. It's got a bit more shape and variety. I think that's a lot more interesting. Of course, driving on it might tell a different story, but anyway, I'll keep going. Okay, the next thing, I'm just wondering if this is declining a little too soon. Over here, we've got this incline just as the cars emerge from underneath the overpass. And I think it would be cool to extend this a little bit further, so this is happening just before this overpass here. There's a roller coaster, water roller coaster ride at SeaWorld on the Gold Coast here. And there's a section where you come screaming down and you miss smashing your head on the overpass by about 6 inches. It's pretty thrilling. And I think that would be then the opposite of what's going on here. That might be a good idea. And then by this being extended, you've got an upper section, a lower section, an upper section. By the time we do all the embankment scenery, that might look a lot more pleasing to the eye. So I'll continue on. And there it is. So we're coming off the bridge, and now we've got this swing around through a crisscross around this bend there, and you're dipping down just before you smash into the side of the bridge. That's going to add a thrill. But have a look from this angle. Look at that scenery. So you can picture the cars flying over the bridge, and we can do a little pan around. It's actually going to look pretty good. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. That's much better. Like I said, you've got a track on that side, elevated, track on this side with the bridge. And yeah, we've got this track running underneath too, so I don't know what to do here. But there's so many different ideas to implement now with the scenery. It's just not going to be a bunch of green grass plonked on, there you go, we're done. Every little corner, every little nook will tell its own little story. It'll present something interesting. So it's coming along, and look at that shape there. That is so much better, so much more pleasing. Of course, it's just a matter of whether the cars agree. We've got to try it out. Now, this end, this is going to be a trick. I suppose I'll do this corner first, see if I can fix that up, and then we'll tackle this. If it stays as it is, I wasn't successful, and that we're waiting on track to arrive. But we'll see. I'll press on. Okay, back again after about a half hour of hair-pulling excitement. In order to get this, here's my let's go target. In order to get my 230 curve to fit here, well, we need a shorter straight section here, and what looks like about a 3/4. Now, it's one of these left over. The pieces I require to make that work are here and here, and of course if I remove those, then none of that fits together. And even though we are changing this around slightly, was that my phone going on? I'll call you back. Yeah, so I definitely need some more track pieces to make this all work, but I think if I persevere a little bit more with placing this where it's could go. I think it was going under somehow like that. I might get it all to fit, but it looks like this section has worked great. That's done, it fits, it conforms, it resolves. But then if I'm about to rip that out, it no longer resolves. So, yeah, this is going to be not fun. We'll get there. And no, I don't want a track planner. I don't like track planners. This is old school, getting your hands dirty, you know? Oh dear. Yeah, so I'll muck around with this a bit longer and see what I can come up with. I'm close to giving up. I'm close to just leaving this as it was for the time being until I get a little bit more track. But I think I need some more quarters, thirds, some more 230 tracks for this configuration in here, and we should have it in the bag. But wow, it's close, you know, it's very close. Okay, I've had a resounding success here. I've broken up the 3 pieces of 230 track and inserted this one piece of straight. I didn't have to use that. Now it's a nice straight run from there, and that's a much better resolve for this corner. I'm very happy with that. Visually it's better. It suits better. I think the cars are going to like that. Again, none of this is final until we run some laps and see what it feels like. I'm very happy with that. So that's 2 successes so far. We've fixed this end, much better. And now this one, this was the main culprit, to be honest. That was the main culprit. I'm so glad that that is fixed now. I'll just add some guardrail and finish that off. But that leaves this inner section here. I still haven't looked at that yet, and I've got 2 160s left over, that extra crisscross track, and 3 pieces of straight section, and of course a secondary hairpin turn, which when it's installed it'll be the primary hairpin running clockwise. Man, that's looking great. That really is looking good down there. But yeah, you know, I just had a crazy thought. Maybe it's okay as it is. Maybe it's done, because that's all sitting quite nicely. Although I really want to put this in, and I don't want that many S's in the S's, you know what I mean? I want the S's to start from this point, so it's like rah, 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 and then into that hairpin up that end. So I want this to come in a straight line under the bridge here, and then some kind of turn around there. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Well, don't ask me how I managed, but I think we're going to actually make this fit without any additional track. So I'm going to put the crisscross, the second one over there, and we just need to add probably a combination of those 2. Sorry, I'm going to do it off camera. I don't have enough hands. A combination of those 2 pieces should, yes. Wow. Now, it's not ideal. I prefer it to be a 230 bend here and here, but this is going to work. It's the same angle as what's happening up there, but I can get this done with what I've got, so it's actually going to fit. So I'll keep going. I'll finish it off and show you in a moment. Okay, success. Did not have to buy any more track. It all fit together, and I've achieved the objective. It's sitting in there, it's fitting, it's quite well, it resolved properly, and I guess all that leaves now is to do a few laps and see how it feels. But as you can see, it's I think it's made a huge difference. Just a few little refinements, but ones that definitely needed. Let's give it a few laps and see what the result is like. especially, oh, I was getting excited about that corner over there. That is so much better. Let's keep going. Love it. That's much better. That corner. And this is looking cool. This corner. Whoa! But you got to slow down for that tight one there. All right. That is fantastic. You can see I've even started building a bit of a rubber tyre wall here. I'm running out of these tyres, so I better buy some more. That is going to look fantastic, I think, when it's all the scenery is done. I can picture how it's going to look. It'll look completely different to how it does right at this moment. Once all the little tunnels and embankments are done, yeah, it's going to look pretty slick. And then when we start some racing in here, the camera views, different camera angles, the scenery, it's going to look amazing. We'll actually have to name all the corners, all the different sections. We'll come up with different names for each part of the track. That's going to be fun. So I can't wait now to get started on the scenery. So I guess that's a success. Nice modification. I'm happy with it. Yeah. These two corners here I used 160, so that's the only thing I'd change now. I'd swap them out, make that 130s, but then again, it seems to conform to that. It's making it under the bridge okay. Maybe it's okay. Maybe we can change just that one over there, make that a less sharp. Probably. We'll have to figure that one out. Lots to think about. All right. Well, there you go. It's happening. A few modifications. Greatly improved. Very happy. We'll see you next time. Okay, I've been running some laps for another 20 minutes or so on this track, and I've got to tell you, yeah, I think we've nailed it. This has got a great vibe about it. This section is fantastic. It's really working. The Ferrari loves the circuit. It really flies around this thing. So, yep, it's such a great feeling knowing that I don't have to buy any more track pieces. You know how it's like, you think you're done. Oh, we just need a couple more 230s, and oh, we just need that. And it just feels like at times it's never ending. But I think we've finally got there. So again, I'm happy. I can't fault it now. There's no sections really that I'm not happy with. So let's get some scenery going. That'll be the next episode, the start of the great scenery construction. See you then.
See you next time on Hughes Garage Slot Car Adventures.